we're going to have Mustafa. Mustafa, you're on the line with Jimmy and Arden.
Hey guys, also Jimmy, you are not mid, you are still super hot. You got hair back.
Get out of here. Get out of here. All right, thanks, Mustafa, but let's move on from that. It made me very uncomfortable.
Okay, well, my argument is that I do not support either the GOP for sure, and I'm sick of the Dems. I've been voting for them since I've been allowed to vote, and they have not delivered 100%. And I know you made these arguments that they have been delivering, but at the same time, under their watch, under Biden's watch, when he had both the House and the Senate, half the population lost their to an abortion.
No,
Mustafa,
come on, you're not going to do that.
This isn't real. You're joking, Mustafa.
You can retort. Minutes after that announcement, I got dozens of emails from Democratic politicians, and I'm not the only one who got these, saying, "Oh, we got to donate more to us." So they took our right.
No.
And on top.
Mustafa, stop. This is so dishonest. It's actually disappointing.
Mustafa, you're obviously actually a Trump voter trying to turn people away. You don't think you're going to turn anybody to voting for the Democrats, or rather voting for Trump, but you're hoping that by saying stuff and getting this into people's ears, which I'm already aware that this is a giant psyop they're doing at the moment. There's lots of information out there that this is what their goal is, just to discourage people. I can't say for sure I know that you're one of them, but you're either one of them or you've fallen for it. You have fallen for it. That you are sitting here trying to repeat sort of cliches that aren't true, because the Biden administration did not overturn Roe v. Wade. As I already mentioned on a previous call, we have three branches: executive, legislative, and judicial. The judicial branch, which was made uber conservative, radically conservative by Donald Trump, overturned Roe v. Wade. The Republicans, so just as much as Biden is the one in power as president, the Republicans were in power as the head of the judicial branch, as the governing body of the judicial branch. And the president does not have the ability to veto that. He could have vetoed it if it came from Congress, but not that. And then even to say he had the House and the Senate is also not true, because he did not have 50 Democrats. He had 48 Democrats and 2 independents. One of those independents decided to swing moderate and was holding things hostage. The other one is moderate in practice, but still claims to be a Democrat. So what you just said isn't true at any level of what you just said. It's incredibly dishonest. And the right thing for them to do would have been say, hey, we now have work to do, but that work is unfortunately not free. We know that a lot of people right now are feeling fucked and want to know what they can do. And yeah, we're politicians, so we are going to take a little advantage of the tragedy that's happened and not waste it, and the fact that people will be more charged. But at the end of the day, we have laws and regulations around these donations, and we will actually spend that money on trying to recover Roe v. Wade. Go ahead, Arden.
I also want to point out that in response to this happening, not from the Biden administration, the Democrats and Biden administration did try to push the FDA to approve mifepristone so that they could get an abortifacient access. Ooh, wow, I just threw myself back. Access to an abortifacient throughout the entire country. So not only is it not the fault of the Biden administration, but as soon as it happened, actions and steps were taken to try to remedy this as best we could until we can do a more overarching action to restore Roe.
But it could have been done prior.
It should have been done prior. It probably could not have been done prior. However, it should have been. The fact of the matter is, Roe v. Wade eventually did pass in the past, and there will be an improvement sometime in the future. And it certainly is not going to be the Republicans. And you sitting here and going, I'm voting third party, which I still don't believe. I think you're just a Trump supporter. but I'm voting third party because they have never been 100% when no politician, including a third party politician, has been 100%. In fact, as far as third party politician deliveries go, they will be much lower than the average politician because they fundamentally do not have the structural supportive power to actually affect that change, which means you have to work within the systems that you have while trying to move and, dare I say, radicalize those systems to reflect what you actually need. So now go ahead, Mustafa, and keep pretending you're not a Trump supporter and go with your next point.
I promise you, I am not a Trump supporter.
Well, stop doing his work for him. Stop joining in their, guys, we're not saying that you should vote Trump. Just don't vote if it bothers you that he was the one in office when Roe v. Wade passed or got overturned.
I got to overstate here. I'm not saying don't vote. I'm saying do vote, but vote for a...
Vote in the most useless way possible. Mustafa.
That's worse than not voting.
Mustafa, true or false? Mustafa, true or false? Not true or false. Wait, or is it? Yeah. Either Harris or Trump will be president, correct?
Yes.
So why are you advocating for voting for... Also, if you're voting for Jill Stein, I highly encourage you to watch the interview Mehdi Hassan did with Jill Stein.
Jill Stein is a joke.
A fucking joke. Yeah. And like...
If Mehdi Hassan has gone way more of the length than any leftist I know on behalf of Gaza, and if he can't fucking... It's Gaza, not Gaza. Gaza. If he can't fucking... come to vote for Jill Stein, any fucker who's going to say vote for Jill Stein because of Gaza is full of shit. We should work on that, but I'm even not. It's not Gaza, people. It's Gaza. Technically, it's like Gaza. If you're into Arabic, I'm trying to do. We should be saying things the way they're actually pronounced. We should stop whiteifying them. It's not Amarillo, Texas, by the way. Go ahead.
Actually, it is.
But anyway,
no, it isn't.
The reason why I'm voting Green, even though I know she's gonna lose, is because they're gonna see a very at least a percentage of
no, they're not. They're not going to see any meaningful percentage increase in people voting for third party at all.
No,
you are so fooled.
Cornel West doesn't have a significant base. Jill Stein doesn't have a significant base. The Libertarian candidate doesn't. I can't remember who it fucking is right now. These are not people who actually have a significant base. There are third-party runs in the past. In fact, as a write-in candidate, Kennedy Jr., who is now vying for a position in the Trump administration, so you can't say he disrespects the two-party system, since he's trying to be in one of the party's cabinet, will have a more significant vote than either of them. What you are saying is very, very silly. Amarillo is the way locally people have agreed to say it, but it is part of, and you'll see it all around, they whiteified the language here to be shitty. So it
all
is a
the words
Amarillo.
that should be pronounced in a Spanish way are pronounced in a very annoying American way,
Purposely.
but that's just like how they've been accepted, and so that's
right.
What
But
it
it was
now.
And I'm saying we shouldn't accept it because it was the reason they did it was racist. It's not how it's pronounced.
I don't disagree.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I know. But it does have a potential within swing states.
No, it doesn't. It has the potential in Minnesota. The potential you have is to ruin the election and get Donald Trump. It has the potential to stop the better candidate from winning. That's the potential it has, Mustafa. There is zero chance in swing states that Jill Stein is going to win a swing state, period.
Like I said, I don't expect her to win. I just expect her to literally spoil.
Nope.
So that way, Dems can actually act on their platform.
Good. Then you guys are pieces of fucking shit because Dems won't be able to act on their platform when Project 2025 literally replaces the power structures that are in place to make sure that the president's powers are limited, that now he has the right to dismiss more people from their position, and he will be able to solidify the ways in which he is trying to make it so Republicans can always win elections, regardless of the vote, by basically if you just claim that there's fraud, now you can send alternate slates of electors. That way land is voting instead of actual people. Mustafa, you are a sack of shit if you vote for Jill Stein and participate in a let's spoil it because fucking Donald Trump may not be a survivable event. Certainly not for the democracy as it is.
Yeah, the
And
unbelievable privilege. Sorry, I didn't.
No, you're fine. You may literally solidify the inability for a third party or leftist or Democrat to ever win again, because gerrymandering is no longer enough for these people. Voter suppression is no longer enough for these people. The ways in which they have been winning all of these years by making sure as few people vote as possible, not winning by popular vote, has not been enough. So they are radically changing even those systems to already take a system that is unbalanced in their favor and fucking dive it into the ocean.
Yeah. You're willing to risk us descending into a complete Christo-fascist, bigoted state, all because the Democrats aren't doing enough for you. Well, that's got to be a nice bucket of fucking privilege that you get to live with. I'm very jealous, and
next you'll be like one of those dum-dums last week who called in, yeah, but I also think we should go to violent revolution, which you would not fucking win.
Yeah, there's not going to be a violent revolution. I can promise you.
You can't promise me. You literally can't promise me, because you are right now participating in a spoil effort in a way that will actually empower a side that might decide to have their own violent revolution. They've already been heading that direction, like in Florida, where they're passing laws to make it legal to run over protesters. And you know what? You know what, Mustafa? You know what I would call a violent revolution, just of a different type? A national ban on abortion, because non-access to abortion is fucking violence. And here you are, apparently voting for the spoil that will make the odds of that go way the fuck up. So you might be right. The left might not get to succeed with a violent revolution, but there may be violent revolutions. And we're the ones who are going to get fucked.
Yeah, there was actually a great study too. Actually, no, Mustafa, stop. There was a study that came out that showed that in the states where anti-trans laws had been passed, suicide rates amongst teens jumped dramatically. They had a massive sample size. So you are advocating for spoiling the election, risking the Christo-fascist leader getting in who wants to do that nationally. So you clearly don't give a fuck about trans people. You clearly don't give a fuck about women. You clearly don't give a fuck about religious liberties. No, shut up, Mustafa. This is what you're risking. You have the opportunity to pull the lever. No, shut up. Shut up. You have the opportunity to pull the lever and give Kamala the best chance at winning. Or you're saying, Mustafa, I'm going to mute you because you're incapable of interrupting me, and I have ADHD and can't think when people interrupt me. You are willing to risk the worst option because the Kamala Harris and the Democrats are doing enough for you. That is the most unbelievably privileged take, and it is like beneath contempt. It is disgusting, and nobody should think that that is a valid way to protest what is going on right now.
Yeah, I don't see a difference between you and a Trump voter, period.
Am I still speaking?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay, I heard a beep, and I wasn't sure if I got cut off or whatever. But politicians are supposed to earn our votes. It's not your job to get other people to vote for the politician you support. Because they're
Did you just listen to fucking nothing, Mustafa?
Nothing. Not a
Do you know
single word
why
we said.
Harris has earned my vote? Because she's one of two options, and she's the one where less violence will happen. Not just abroad, not just in Gaza, but also in America. Also with abortion, the ability to veto an abortion bill. Also for trans youth and queer youth. Also for trying to get the Supreme Court remotely back to balance, or at least closer to balance. I absolutely, she has not earned my vote in that she's not a perfect politician. I'm probably further fucking left than you are, Mustafa, but I actually know the foundations of my beliefs, and I actually think about the outcomes and whether it's worth it. And you sound like the most privileged little Reddit fuck who's, I'm not going to vote for them, and I'm going to brag about it. Well, go fucking jerk off. Unfortunately, you are in technically a swing state, though I think Minnesota is probably solidly blue this time around. But
why not make it for sure?
Right, exactly.
Why not make it for sure when you can do that?
Yeah, I'm just saying, luckily, I don't have to go to bed fucking worrying as much about Mustafa being this big of a dick.
Hey, at the end of the day, he is supposed to get my I'm not. I am. She doesn't. I'm not. I do not owe her my vote.
Yes, you do.
No, you know who you owe though that vote to? All the women in your life, all the trans people in your life, any immigrants that are in your life, all like it's insane
I'm
that
saying
you
there's
don't
no difference. You do
understand
owe her that vote. She's a woman. She has a stepdaughter. Women, people of color, are all targeted by this shit that is happening. So yeah, actually, you do owe her specifically the vote. And as Arden just said, you owe that vote to every woman in this country. You owe that vote to every immigrant. You owe that vote to everyone who will be harmed because of Trump's policies. But good job, Mustafa. You're such a brave advocate and such an activist that you might be participating in the thing that didn't work in 2016. Did it,
every
Mustafa?
other election when people did this.
Literally the exact same shit back then. We're going to spoil the election so next time we get Bernie or better. Did we get Bernie or better, Mustafa? Did that work in 2016?
No, but
No.
No.
You're a waste of time, Mustafa. And you know what else? You are a waste of a vote. A waste of a citizen. Goodbye. Fucking... I would have preferred he'd hung up because I like it when the trash takes itself out.
Hello, I'm Jimmy Snow, executive producer for The Line and avid candy eater. Hey, if you'd like to support this channel, you can do so now on Patreon or as a channel member with tiers specific to supporting specific shows and hosts. And it also supports our ability to expand programming going forward. You could also leave a super thanks down below, get a little special highlighted comment, and I'll tell you what, you could hit like and you could hit subscribe. Now, here are some video suggestions so we can fudge that algorithm. Go with one of ours. Forget everyone else on YouTube. I'm begging.